I came to Bristol from my native Guyana in 1961, and I got involved when the bus boycott was in 1962, and I haven't looked back since. I've been, just working in the community. I worked for about 5 years in St. Paul's as a development officer at Arts Opportunity Theatre, and I then went on to be a social worker. It means a lot. It shows that I am appreciated. You do things and sometimes you get looked over and maybe you might have a little, oh well, I've done this, but they don't recognize it. But it means a lot. It is good to be recognized. It gives you encouragement. I worked, as I said, in social services, and it's when you see some of the youngsters that came in with problems into care, and you see them 5 or 6 years after, and they're saying, "Hi, Barbara, you remember when you said this to me? You remember when you said that to me?" That is great. It makes you feel, well, I've done something good. Something has come out of what I did. I think to be remembered for the things that I have done, and hope that others would follow my example. Not in my age group, but the young people would follow and say, "Oh, well, Barbara did this. I wonder if I can do that." When they came over, jobs were, menial jobs they had to take. They couldn't get what was they were qualified to do. So, and it's just take my life as an example. It does an awful lot, because I can say that we are very proud of what the Black community has achieved and what RISE Awards are promoting, not just marking time, treading water, but to promote it and go from strength to strength, strive to be better than you are, just to make that goal, aim for the skies and you'll drop on the treetops, not the ground.
When I was first told I was up for an award, I thought, oh, how exciting, that's really nice. And then I was told I was up for lifetime achievement, and my first thought was, I haven't finished yet, there's so much more I've got to do. Yes, it's true, I've done so much in my 35 years in broadcast TV, and I've enjoyed most of it, but it's been great. But I also wanted to spare a thought for the women who I was in the same category with, people like Osbourne and Barbara Dettering. These two women supported me every step of the way when I was 18 and older and working in my career. And today I want to say I am honoured to be in your category, and I am also honoured to know the women whose shoulders that I was supported by when I was growing up. I think of women like my mum, who this category fits perfectly. And I want to say thank you to all those unsung heroes whose names are not necessarily in lights, but who we want to honour as well as part of womanhood. So it's an honour, it really is. And whoever wins this award will win it on behalf of all women out there, whether their names are in lights or not, because we all matter and we're all valued. Thank you.
I started to work in the community because I felt that there was a need, because I've got children. So in the 60s, I felt there was a real need for us, the Black people, to do something, because I have children going to schools. I had neighbors in my street, and we were not happy. So what I did, the Inkworks was the first project that I worked with Jane Ryan. I do volunteer work for 1 year without pay, and I go around and drop off the leaflets for her. I think in my heart what I do, I've never looked for recognition because it is in my heart. And a lot of people would say, how do you manage 4 projects, 2 nurseries, day center for the elderly? But I have 15 very, very good staff. And it's how you treat people, how you behave, and not because you're in a position you should abuse that position. I'm a humble person. That's how I am, because I feel happier that way. I'm not a person who say a lot, and I'm a doer, not a sayer. And I've worked with Carmen and Peter Courtier. I've worked with Francis Alandi in the Ingwer at the Albert Villas. And, I've worked with most people. But if people don't ask, it's not for me to say.